Shares of CrowdStrike are falling this morning after the cybersecurity firm reported better than expected second quarter results last night. The tech company also seeing year-over-year growth of 81% in new subscription customers, which was driven by a spike in recent cyber attacks. Joining us right now to talk more about the cybersecurity sector is Dan Ives. He's managing director at Wedbush Securities. And Dan, you recently raised your price target on a lot of stocks in this sector just because you think demand is going to be very strong, right?
Yeah, and I think it's really white hot in terms of what we're seeing because of the shift to cloud and just more and more threats across enterprises and governments. And that's what you're seeing, not just from CrowdStrike, names like Zscaler, Fortinet, and others. We sort of view it as a golden age for cybersecurity. And I think what you're seeing, even on the new Biden standards, this is going to be a tailwind that's going to go well into 2022. In my opinion, it's probably the subsector of tech that's going to be the biggest outperformer over the next 4 to 6 months.
However, we did see stronger results from CrowdStrike. They came in with good earnings yesterday, and you still see the stock off by about 3.5%. Is that because expectations are just built in so incredibly high at this point?
Yeah, I think what you've seen with a lot of these names is that these stocks have been up, call it 5-6x from the last 18 months. You sort of have these knee-jerk reactions post-quarter, but I sort of view it as noise. I mean, in my opinion, you look out forest through trees 6 to 12 months, the growth and just the cycle here, we think it's a $300 billion land grab for cloud security. Names like CrowdStrike, Zscaler, I'd see names like Tenable and others, and even on the federal side, names like Telos. These are companies in the sweet spot, and I think these are stocks that are going to continue to re-rate despite some of the knee-jerk reactions, even like we've seen with CrowdStrike.
You did this based on your own channel checks. What did you see in those channel checks? What did it tell you?
Yeah, I mean, even things that you're talking about in the program in terms of remote, from terms of employees working more and more from home, that's more endpoint threats. You're seeing that across the board, and also, right now, we're only a third of the way through the cloud transition. As companies move to cloud, that's something that cybersecurity becomes front and center. And it's sort of a new area that you're going to see spend in, which is, part of what we're seeing across the board. And it's not just enterprise, it's governments. And these are the threat levels that I think it's really unlike anything I've seen 20 years covering the sector. That's why I continue to think it's a golden age for cybersecurity. I think these are stocks that continue to be in the sweet spot. And that's what we're hearing from CISOs and a lot of C-level, especially on this high-level area of security.
C-level being at the cybersecurity firms or executives at other companies who are actually saying, yes, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to spend a lot more on cybersecurity this year.
Yeah, that's exactly in terms of, C-level, CIOs, CISOs, chief security officers. I mean, to give you some example, we think that we're looking somewhere about 22% growth for cybersecurity this year and into next year, sustainable levels. Because I think many have underinvested in terms of cybersecurity. But the biggest thing is you talk about these moves to cloud with Microsoft, Amazon, Google, IBM, and others. Cybersecurity goes hand in hand. And that's why you're really seeing the sector, white hot here. But I think we're still in the early innings of what's just a transformational growth cycle. I think we're seeing that play out in front of us.
How does one cybersecurity firm stand out from another? Which is your favorite in the group?
Well, I mean, our favorite here is Zscaler because it's similar to CrowdStrike, but they continue to really own what I view as sort of the cloud market. I think this is almost a Salesforce.com or cybersecurity. That's one that sticks out. And I'd also point out, you want to play the federal opportunity. There's names like Telos, names like Palantir, CyberArk that also play more and more on the federal side, which is important, even as we saw with the White House meeting with Cook, Nadella, Jazzy coming, just given what we're seeing on the threat level facing the Beltway.
Dan, thank you. Great to see you today. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.